What is going on, guys? Dave here for another video today, and today we're going to be talking about all of my other project cars that have apparently disappeared from this YouTube channel. And no, it's not just because I just want to make Mustang videos. The way this YouTube channel works is actually people giving me opportunities, and just so happens lately has been around Mustang stuff, so much as reviews and going to places like Fat House Performance. I mean, you're not going to turn down driving a 1300 horsepower Shelby and a twin turbo Coyote. You're just not going to do it. But at the same time, I miss working on all my other cars, but I'm gonna explain why I haven't had videos of things like my 240SX, my Integra, and everything else. Before I get into all of my stress, today's video is sponsored by Cove. Cove is a company that makes these really incredible Bluetooth speakers. What I like about them is that you charge them and they're really good for when you're working on cars in the garage and you're listening to music with your friends, or even listening to a podcast with friends in the garage while you guys are struggling and looking for the 10mm wrench. And at the same time, it has a built-in subwoofer at the bottom, which is really neat and makes a really good sound. So the sound quality is very good. At the same time, you can have it on its side, you can have it upright. It doesn't take too long to charge. It takes 2 steps to sync up your phone and you're good to go. When I was driving my Integra to Baton Rouge, I actually used the Cove Bluetooth speaker as my stereo system all the way back to Baton Rouge because my stereo system wasn't working properly, and it actually sounded better than the Integra stereo system, which was really cool. So I use it while I'm washing my cars. It's a really chill environment when you're using it, and I think it's an overall incredible product. On that note, make sure to use the code ThatDudeinBlue with the link in the description for 65% off of a Cove speaker. Thank you guys so much for listening, and let's get to talking about my stressful situation with all of my project cars. So behind me, you can see the Integra and also a visual representation about how I feel about this car right now. Trash. I still have yet to get all the body work fixed because this bracket has been destroyed. Fender is destroyed because all of this assembly is gone. It doesn't look like it right here, but there is more damage along here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and replace all of this at once. And there we have it, kids. The broken leg of the Integra. I really think that the most frustrating thing about this project in particular is that Hybrid Racing did such an amazing job with this car. It was just a series of bad coincidences that caused its demise. Like, for example, the axle that fell off the car was too short, and that was a production issue, no one's fault, essentially. Splash guard was a freak accident of the wind coming in way too hard and ripping off the entire thing, causing the body damage. Other than that, the swap's fine. It just stinks that with the axle being so short, it destroyed the half shafts. So now I have half shafts on order that I've been waiting for a little while, and they still haven't shown up. I'm still waiting for them. I mean, there is a reason why I've been doing more videos with, say, Sub-Zero here. Parts just take longer for me to get, and it's really frustrating. Building domestics, it's not so much I like imports more than domestics, or vice versa. It's just that the domestics are so much easier because parts actually show up on time, companies don't screw you over as much, and it's really frustrating. I feel like nearly every single part I order for my 240, for my Integra, anything on that side of things takes months sometimes for something that's overnight shipping, or they lost it in the mail, or something always goes wrong. It's almost like fate doesn't want me to build these cars or something. It's really sad. For example, these side skirts took 2 months to get in. The diffuser took 7 months to get in. I forgot about my book cushion from my road trip, but the entire reason the interior got done so quickly is because it was all supplies that I could buy right here in town. And even the Sparco seats, I could have gone to Summit Racing about an hour away and picked up Sparco seats if I wanted to, but it's the personal responsibility. Thankfully, my axles came in, but unfortunately, since I don't have the half shafts, it's utterly pointless to try and install those axles on a destroyed half shaft. There's no point. It's just gonna fall off or cause even more damage to my brand new axles here on the Integra. It's so sad because I literally would have passed emissions with flying colors as soon as I got back home, but chaos happened. So behind me is BLUEJZ's front bumper in order to get onto a trailer. So I just left it here, but you might notice there's a door panel behind it as well. The manual window unfortunately broke on it. Now it doesn't go up and down. So the entire bracket and system to wind the window up and down, I have no idea how it happened, but things kind of got mixed around, wrapped around, so I had to find a new window, bracket, and system. Okay, I took my jacket off because Georgia just decided to have a massive heat wave all of a sudden today, but do you hear that? I have AC now. If you guys did not see the last episode where I was driving Smurf around, kind of doing a Smurf update, I had a lot of gremlins in this car that I'm gonna get into. Figured while we talked about these gremlins, I'll go for a stroll, you know, just around town in Smurf here. Get that southern drawl, you know what I'm saying? I'm so sorry. I've owned Smurf the longest out of my entire ThatDudeinBlue fleet, and I still love this car. Can't believe it, but I still love it. The gremlins have been solved. Now, how were they solved? Well, about a year ago, 2 years ago, somewhere around there, it all blends together when you do YouTube. About maybe 2 years ago, I had this taillight issue where my running lights on the taillights didn't work anymore. So at night, people were flashing their lights and I was like, what? My headlights are on. Why are you guys doing this? And I looked like that I was doing some cannonball run with my taillights off. But the thing is that it was my smart junction box all along, which I had replaced already, but I got a dud. I want to give a huge shout out to PowerLab Performance, PowerLab in Powder Springs, Georgia. They helped me out. I brought the car to them, and normally they don't do stuff like hunting gremlins. They're a performance shop, but they were kind enough to bring me in and be like, okay, David, we'll help you out, dude, don't worry. They made sure my blinkers work properly again. I mean, look, they used to be super fast and I didn't have sequentials anymore because of it. The check engine light is gone that I had. I could not figure out the check engine light for the life of me, but it was a high voltage check engine light. So what can probably happen sometime in the S197 Mustang chassis is if you are driving in really heavy rain or something, a little bit of moisture can get into your smart junction box. And that's what happened. That's why the car seemingly drove perfect and nothing felt wrong. It was just one of those things where the smart junction box was saying, hey guy, can you please just replace me? Everything else is fine though. So in Georgia, I wouldn't be able to pass emissions with that stupid check engine light, even though my car has catalytic converters and everything. So thankfully PowerLab figured it out, did an amazing job. Unbelievable service by those guys. The MT82 in this car, man, it has been a trooper. The MT82 is a pretty weak transmission, but it's been a trooper. But I attribute almost all of it to the Barton short shifter and 2-post bracket, which took away all of the play. But I'm pretty sure if I did a dig race in this thing at a drag strip, it would snap everything all at once. I mean, you're pushing 700 horsepower on stock everything, so, you know. I'll talk about Sub-Zero briefly. I actually ordered coilovers. Those are finally coming in. I'm really excited to finally drop that thing because it looks like a 4x4 truck. Next is the freaking Blue 240. Let's talk about the Blue 240 and I'll try not to cry. So essentially I'm on my third JZ. Got a built bottom end by Powerhouse down in Dallas, Texas, or right outside Dallas, Texas. And they did a phenomenal job. The block looks absolutely amazing. So far we've put the motor together, everything seems fine, but out of no one's fault, once again, just bad luck, the car decided to have some electrical problems. So right now I'm just fixing some gremlins with that car too. That take time to diagnose. And not to mention, every part I seem to order for that car too takes a year and a day to show up. Along with that, guys, the 2016 Drift Coupe that I never talk about, it exists. I'm not gonna talk about it a lot, but it's making progress. I'll give you a little sneak peek. Here you go. Ha, gotcha. I'm gonna be releasing that series probably next year as like a documentary series rather than just like vlogging like this, you know. It's been such a big event for me to be nearing some completion with that car, but unfortunately that car has also had its issues, of course. When it comes to wiring and when it comes to mechanical challenges and things of that nature. Another thing about Smurf I wanted to talk about was, what are my plans for Smurf? You know, I love driving this thing around town. I love bringing it to car meets. I think that's why I've never taken it to that extra next level, if that makes sense. I've always loved owning street cars, not like dedicated race cars a lot, because then you're just kind of limited and things break even more. But a very small part of me, and I mean real small, has been kind of itching to do something more drastic with Smurf, like maybe turn it into a full-fledged drag car. And that's a rabbit hole I'm kind of scared to go down because the budget is just enormous and I just don't know if it's worth it, if that makes sense. I'm being completely transparent here. You know, like if I went full drag car, you'd hate my guts, but I would want to do like a TH400 in the car, you know, like an auto that just goes fast. And I love driving this thing around in manual, but I just don't want to be snapping stuff all the time. Like, people will lie to you all the time and say that manuals last on a drag strip. They don't. They snap and they break all the time. I don't have the money or the sponsors to be snapping shift forks and blowing up twin disc clutches all the time. And with Smurf of doing the drag setup, I don't know what kind of backing I could get, and also what my strategy would be. Would I want to keep it around the 700 horsepower level and see what it could do with slick skinnies and an auto in it? Because if I do this with the stock diff and the stock axles and the stock everything with no supporting mods, it's gonna break first time out. I have no doubts about that. The VMP hits so hard off the line in a good way that it would just mess some stuff up. So that's why I'm more so contemplating, if I do the drag car, you know, keeping it almost full weight out of curiosity, you know, just put better seats in it and a harness bar and cage. But yeah, other than that, I would have to change the rear end out. I have to change the axles out. I'd want to change the trans out. Later, do a built motor. Like, it's a huge commitment. And that's why I'm not quite sure if it's the right move yet, because Smurf works. You know what I mean? Like, I drive it around. I enjoy it. People get to see it, unlike my other cars, which break all the time. Every time my stuff breaks, I'm not even that hard on the car. That's what blows my mind, right? It's never me like hot lapping it or getting on it one after another. I'm stuttering, but I'm just trying to express how I feel about it. I think that's what makes me scared about messing with this car, because I still get to drive it on the street. Of course, I could drive it on the street if it was a drag car, but it just wouldn't be as enjoyable, right? It just wouldn't be able to do the thing. I'm not trying to sell myself here, but in a way, I'm saying if there's people out there that do drag setup Mustangs and you want to collaborate on it and you do drag racing parts, wheels and tires, stuff like that, I'm here, I'll commit to it. But when it comes to the thousands and thousands of dollars that it takes to build a proper crazy fast drag car, like 10 seconds or under, I don't know, man. It's a big decision. That's my long rant about Smurf anyway. Still love it to death. So having multiple project cars is a ton of fun. It really is. For me, being the video filmer, editor, producer, and the guy who releases everything, you know, it's a lot of time. Sounds like a first world problem because it is, but I'm extremely fortunate. I'm extremely blessed, but in order to finish my project cars, I come home from these trips expecting my parts to be at my door, and they're not there, right? They don't show up. And I'll even pay for overnight shipping, and I have to be on a phone with 3 robots to even talk to someone, you know? I think what's gonna be really cool is when all of my cars are done, I wanna do like a full day of reviewing all of them against each other, right? Comparing and contrasting all of my experiences over the years since this YouTube channel started all the way back in 2011. Smurf I see is the vlog car, right? It's the one I took around the neighborhoods of Virginia and had deep talks with you in. Sub-Zero is like an evolution of Smurf, and it will be an evolution of Smurf. But that's also why I've considered evolving Smurf, like a frickin' Pokemon, right? Maybe it's had its time as this, I'm not sure. And the Integra was my branch into somewhat of my past. I know that sounds weird, but all of my friends had Hondas growing up. So that was a look into my past, and that was my budget build. But budget builds sometimes don't really end up as budget builds. The 240 was my first import I ever owned, and I bit off a lot, you know, doing a full engine swap that wasn't Nissan and trying to do everything myself, and that just ended terribly. But on that note, guys, what do you think about everything going on? Are you excited to see these project cars finally done? You can make fun of me all you want. You can say, you know, we'll see BLUEJZ in 2021, because at my bad luck rate, you're probably right. On that note, guys, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching this video. Thank you all so much for always supporting me and being patient with me. And I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and I will see you guys next time, and take it easy. Have a wonderful day.
Yo.